Hi, this is Misha, and I'm going to be showing you about text area, select, and option, which are three different HTML form inputs. So in order to demonstrate a form input, you have to have a form. Now, it's a really good habit to get into that if you're going to type an opening tag, I can't talk and type at the same time. If you're going to type in your opening tag, always type your closing tag right away, then you never forget to close anything. So now I have this form, but the opening tag isn't complete yet because a form needs to have an action. And so I'm going to give it a fake action of action page.php. And it also needs to have some kind of a name, so I'm going to give it an ID of demo because that's what I'm doing. I'm demoing. And now the form is ready to be added to. As you can see, there's nothing in the form, and so there's nothing showing on the page yet. So the next thing I'm going to do is put in a text area. Now, a text area is not a self-closing tag, so you're going to have text area and your closing tag. Make sure you close it. Text area. And anything that you put so now you see we have this little box that popped up on the screen that is a text area. Now I'm going to pretend right now for this 5 seconds that I'm making a registration form for a luncheon, and so I would need to know about food allergies. So outside of the text area, I would write food allergies, and it shows up before it and pushes it over. Well, I don't particularly like the way that looks, and so I'm just going to simply put this in a paragraph, which, because a paragraph is a block item, it pops it up above the input area. Now, some people might be a little bit less bright and they won't know what this box is for. So inside of the text area tags, I can write something like, please put your food allergies here. But now you can see that takes up almost all of the box, and they're going to say, oh, there's no room in this box. So we can make the box bigger. We can tell it exactly how big it needs to be. And we can tell it how many columns we want it to be. I'm going to say 60. And boom, the box is 60 columns long. Columns. In HTML, each letter space is a column. So, and then I'm also going to make it taller to make people feel like there's room to put their food allergies. So I'm going to add more rows. Say 10 rows. And now the box is bigger, but maybe that's too big, so maybe we want to make it 5 rows. And there's our 5-row box. The other thing is that every single input or area in a form needs to have a name to it, because otherwise you're not going to know when what is typed into it comes back to the server. You're not going to know where to put it. So we're going to name it, and this one is easy. We'll name it food allergies. Okay, so we're done with the text area. It's got a nice space. It's got a label that the user can see, and it's got the name over here that we can see in the back end. So we're pretty much done with the text area. Now the next thing we're going to do is put in a select tag. Now select is the HTML word that means drop down menu. So we're going to start with saying select and close our select tag. Now you can see that it has put this little triangle right at the end of our text area, and I don't want it there. I want it below. I could fix it in CSS. I can cheat for the purposes of the demonstration and just put a break tag in, which is not best practice, but it works for this demonstration. And that dropped it below, so we're good. Now, if I click on this little arrow, nothing happens because there are no values. There's nothing to show. There's nothing between our select tags. But before we can give the select tags anything, we need to give our select area here a name. So I'm going to name this book titles or book names. Now, the weird thing about a select input is that it does not have to be typed inside of the form tags as long as you tell the page what form it should be associated with. So you would use the form attribute, and because our form is been given an ID of demo, we will say that the form is demo, and now this select is associated with our form, whether or not it's inside of the form tags. Now, select an option. I really lucked out when I picked this topic because I forgot at that moment that select and option actually work together, and if you don't have both of them, they don't work. So we have a drop-down menu, but we don't have anything in it to drop down. An option is where we tell it what we want it to drop down. So we're going to start with our option tag and our closing tag. And between the tags, first we're going to tell the option what the value is, because all of these will just say option. And so we need to know what the value is if they pick this particular one. So this one, I'm going to be giving the names of the books in the Cavaliers series. So we'll start with Cav 1. And then between the option tags, we put the name of that book, which is Assignment to Earth. And now our select tag here has one item, Assignment to Earth. Now, stupid thing. I'm just going to copy and paste the other 4 books in place. And now if we click on the down tab, we have all 5 of the books in the Cavaliers series: Assignment to Earth, Encounter at Corral, Destruction at Decima, Perilous Patrol, and Terror at Taradia. But best practices for drop-down menus is to put them in alphabetical order. And if you notice, D comes before E. So I'm going to move Destruction at Decima above Encounter at Corral, even though that's not the order the books were published in. Now A, D, E, P, and T, they are in alphabetical order. And that's it. That's the end of my production. So I hope that I've helped, and enjoy it. Bye.